3.0 roll call. Please let it be noted that Director Addy and Director Lauder are absent. And Director Andrews is here, however, pursuant to Minnesota Statute 123B.09, he's got to be a casual observer for 30 days. 4.0 student record information.
Today we had the blood drive, and that seemed to go pretty well. The close-up has gone to DC. They left Sunday maybe. And then the spring play is almost Maine this year. It's love, but not quite. It's at the Evelyn Auditorium, April 27th, that's a Thursday, and Friday the 28th at 7 o'clock. Doors will be open at 6 o'clock, and April 29th, Saturday, at 1 p.m. And doors will be open at 12 on Saturday. It's $6 for adults and $4 for students. Track and field had a meet, or has a meet, at Two Harbors tomorrow, Tuesday. Softball has a game versus Cherry today. And Thursday, the boys baseball has a game here versus Virginia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
5.0 agenda additions, deletions.
I don't have any at this time, Mr. Chair.
None today. Okay. Moving on. 6.0 visitor input.
We
Anyone
don't
signed
have
up?
anyone signed up.
Nobody signed up. All right. 7.0 approve the agenda. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay. Motion by Sather.
Support.
Support by Gentilini. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion passes. Let's see. Item 8.0, approve the minutes of the regular meeting of Monday, April 10th, 2017.
I'll make a motion
Okay.
to approve the minutes.
Support.
Okay. Motion by Sather, support by Peterson. Approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Let's see here. 9.0 business office affairs. 9.1 approve the treasurer's report for the month of April.
General fund disbursements, $135,104.90. Food service, $46,980.01. Transportation, $1,288.29. Community education, $711.31. Trust Channel 12, $1,425. Flex benefit plan, $1,519, for a total of $187,028.51. And I make the motion that we approve the treasurer's report for the check writing of April.
I'll support it. So, motion by Gentilini, support by myself. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on, 10.0 personnel. 10.1, got a bunch of resolutions here relating to the termination and non-renewal of the teaching contracts of probationary teachers. These resolutions number 630 through 635.
You're going to need a motion and a support on each of them, and then the clerk will take a roll call vote on
Okay.
all 6.
Okay, so resolution, let's see, 10.1A is resolution number 630. That's Rebecca Diedrich. The termination and non-renewal of teaching contract.
I'll make a motion.
I'll support.
Okay, motion by Sather, support by Peterson.
This is a roll call?
Yes, we get a roll call.
Director Lotiger, absent. Director Gentilini?
In support.
Addy, absent. Sather?
Yes.
Yes. Chad?
Yes.
Myself, yes.
Okay. 10.1B, resolution number 631 is Lindsay Engel. Get a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Motion by Sather, support by Gentilini. And get a roll call.
Director Lotiger, absent. Director Gentilini?
Yes.
Director Addy, absent. Director Sather?
Yes.
Director Chad?
Yes.
Director Peterson, yes.
Okay. see, resolution number 632, it's J.B. Freiheit. I'll make a motion.
Okay, I'll support.
Motion by me, support by Sather. Roll call.
Director Lotiger, absent. Director Gentilini?
Yes.
Director Addy, absent. Director Sather?
Yes.
Director Chad?
Yes.
Peterson, yes. Motion passes.
10.1D, resolution number 633, Aaron Kaus.
I'll move.
Okay, motion by Peterson,
I'll second.
second by Sather. And we need a roll call.
Director Lotiger, absent. Director Gentilini?
Yes.
Director Addy, absent. Director Sather?
Yes.
Director Chad?
Yes.
Director Peterson, yes. Motion carries.
10.1E, resolution number 634, it's Jessica Corticas.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Motion by Sather, support by Gentilini. Roll call.
Director Lotiger, absent. Director Gentilini?
Yes.
Director Addy, absent. Director Sather?
Yes.
Director Chad?
Yes.
Peterson, yes. Motion carries.
And 10.1F, resolution number 635, Jack Zirkle.
I'll move.
Motion by Peterson, I'll support. Roll call.
Director Lotiger, absent. Director Gentilini?
Yes.
Director Addy, absent. Director Sather?
Yes.
Director Chad?
Yes.
Director Peterson, yes. Motion carries.
Okay, moving to 10.2, approve extracurricular appointment. The administration recommends the board approve Jack Zirkle for 2 second semester study halls at $984 each.
We should have brought this to you a meeting ago, but we didn't, so playing catch up. Mr. Zirkle is, this is for this semester right now, so he's already doing it.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Support.
Motion by Sather, support by Gentilini. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All opposed? Motion passes. 11.0, new business. 11.1 is resolution number 636, establishing combined polling places for multiple precincts.
This is for the special election that we have to take, that has to take place to fill the vacancy that we currently have. Given that it is the only issue on the ballot, we would have to, how many polling places do we have in our district? 9 or 10. So it would cost in the neighborhood of $17,000 to $20,000 if we ran all 9 or 10 of those to the district. If we put it down to 2, and this is calling for this one in the city of Gilbert and one in the city of Evlith, we could probably reduce our cost to around $5,000 for that election. So that is the essence of that resolution.
Okay.
It's just for this one election. It's not.
For any special election that isn't held on the same day as a general election.
Yeah.
Unless we change it.
I'll make the motion to establish combined polling places for multiple precincts.
Support.
Okay, motion by Peterson, support by Gentilini. Any discussion on this? Hearing none. All in favor?
This is,
Oh, that's
Aye.
right, that's the resolution, so roll call vote.
Director Addy, or Lotiger, absent. Director Gentilini?
Yes.
Director Addy, absent. Director Sather?
Yes.
Director Chad?
Yes.
Director Peterson, yes, and motion carries.
Okay. Moving on to 11.2, presentation on the HOPE program.
I've invited Alyssa Bowe. She is the instructor for the HOPE program to come on up and give us a little overview of how things are going.
You can sit over here and Brandon.
You can sit in that seat right there. It'll be fine.
As I said, my name is Alyssa Bowe, and I've been teaching in the HOPE program since February 9th. I'm not sure what all information is best suited for you, so I gave you as much as I could. My license is in secondary English. I've taught high school in St. Cloud and Washington State and was subbing throughout the district when I stepped into the HOPE program in February. Now I have a waiver with the state to allow me to teach the multiple subject areas that I do in the HOPE program. During my day, I teach, first hour I have a number of kids in math, 3 kids in social studies, 1 student in HOPE science, which is an environmental science, and 1 student recovering a 10th grade English credit that is not online but is done using Donna Walls' curriculum during that first period in my class. Second hour I teach HOPE English, third hour is a traditional study hall, fourth hour is HOPE Life Skills, fifth hour is HOPE Life Skills and HOPE Social Studies combined, and then 6th hour is HOPE Math, and I have 2 students that do an online credit recovery in that classroom during that time period as well. 7th hour is the prep, just to give you a picture of what that day looks like. The adjustment after a number of weeks of substitutes was probably the first challenge. They'd had a number of weeks of substitutes after Paul Brainerd stepped out. And for a variety of reasons, getting the group of kids to buy into the idea that I was going to stick around and that they needed to adjust to doing work again was probably our biggest challenge. Now, however, if you ask any one of them, they'll tell you, yes, we do plenty of work, and we're back into a bit more of a schedule. One of the next challenges was figuring out what motivates each of those kids. They're a slightly different population, as I suspect you're aware of. And so some of those kids truly struggle with their academics. Some of them missed something. Maybe they had a bad year in 5th grade or a bad year in 8th grade or somewhere along the lines, and they struggle with certain basic skills, and now they're kind of having to pay the price of realizing, ooh, I maybe should have paid attention in that point, and we need to go back and recover some of those skills. Some of those kids just need some of those kids just need someone to remind them often and persistently that they need to turn this work in, or else you will not have certain privileges in this classroom. Still, others just need a safe place to ask for help and to be able to get that help one-on-one. Or they need to be able to say, hey, Mrs. Bowe, I need you to slow down and to teach this to me again and to spend an hour with me explaining this to them. And this is a place where I think they probably feel pretty comfortable asking for that. So the first 2 months for me have been spent trying to keep up with curriculum and relearning intermediate algebra, given that my subject area was English, so that's been what I was doing for the first 2 months. At this point, I'm starting to look for ways to improve the soft skills that have landed some of the kids in the HOPE program. For example, things like consistency in attendance, completing assignments, and even things like, oh, I'm really annoyed with this teacher, and I really just don't want to go to their class. Well, but you need to, and this is how can we get you there so that you are doing what you need to be doing in this class. And even some basic social skills for some of the students who show just slightly, whose social skills just maybe aren't where they should be for their age range. A large part of how I view my role as that teacher is similar to that of a special ed case manager, although to be clear, none of the HOPE kids are on IEPs. I chase kids down who have skipped a class and talk to them about alternative methods of not wanting to be in a particular class that day. I have written dozens of passes for kids to come to my room to work on assignments, whether those are in HOPE classes that they're taking or other classes. I try to keep up with grades and with seat time and detentions. Angie sends me that kind of stuff all the time so that I can let those kids know what is going on and how much do you need to do so that you can be promoted to the next grade, so that you can take the next course in sequence, so that you can graduate on time with your class. I've started to view myself as kind of a professional nag, but luckily for me, most of the kids know why I'm doing that. They want to graduate, and they good-naturedly get back on task, at least until it's time to nag them again. Ultimately, though, those kids do want to graduate. They might need someone to take a special notice of them. They might need to be handled a little differently than the other kids, but they do want to be successful. So then ultimately the question is this working? I asked my HOPE English kids to write an essay on their experiences in HOPE, and here's some of the excerpts from what they wrote. One said, "It has definitely helped me become a better student. I believe it's easier to follow along when it's at your pace of learning." Another said, "Before HOPE I wanted to drop out, but now I'm going to graduate and have also made it on the B honor roll. HOPE allows me to be happy to go to school and actually attend. Last year I skipped 2 months of school because I was so overwhelmed with all the homework and the fact that I didn't know how to do it or where to start." This particular student I know has really appreciated being in the HOPE program and having the opportunity to work one-on-one. We've gone back and regained some of her math skills. We have worked very specifically on some of those things. We've sat down for sometimes hours in a day to work on regaining some of the skills that she just missed for whatever reason. And now she is in school every day. She's there. She's very proud of herself. She's taking initiative. She's meeting with the guidance counselor to try to plan out her next year of life and what she's going to be looking at and how she can continue to be successful even after graduation. And so she's one of those kids that you're like, want to point to and say, yeah, her. This is one that's really been beneficial. Another said, the teacher sat down and taught to us and helped us for the entire hour. We had more time to finish our work. Another kid wrote, Hope did help me succeed. There was more one-on-one working, and they were able to teach it how I would understand it. Last year I didn't do so well. I dug a hole and got deeper and deeper, and Hope gives me a second chance to succeed, and I've done way better this year than my last couple years. I would be nowhere close to passing if I didn't have Hope. The teacher gives you, or helps you with all your work and makes sure you get it done. If I didn't have Hope, I wouldn't be passing and probably wouldn't be going to this school. The Hope program has helped me out a lot this last year. I have been passing all my classes and been getting my homework in for the most part. I love Hope because, first of all, Hope is great. It helps me get my work done. The best part is I can get caught up in my other classes if I fall behind. I get way more one-on-one with a teacher, and I'm getting better grades. Now, of course, I pulled the best lines out of their essays to share with you guys. For that particular paragraph, the students were asked, has Hope helped you to be more successful? If so, how? And if not, what could have been done better? All of the kids said Hope was helpful to them. Several kids had suggestions for improvement. What is far more telling to me, though, than these excerpts I pulled out of their essays is the way the assignment played out. I had given them an essay based on a novel earlier in the year, and much to my embarrassment and utter frustration, most of the kids pretty much sat there and said, I'm not going to do it, Mrs. Bowe. I went, okay, well, what do we do then? I said, okay, tell me what you guys would do to get an assignment turned in. And they said, well, don't base it on the novel. I said, okay, lesson learned. You know, we'll take you through as many steps as I can get you to, as I can yank you through, but the next time I obviously gave them something not based on an essay. In this case, every single student turned in their essay. Hope matters to them, and they wanted to be there, and they wanted to turn in an essay on their experiences there. Finally then, in preparation for this meeting, because they all know that I'm here and they all had plenty of input on what they wanted me to say, I asked them why they do the Hope program rather than go anywhere else, and they looked at me in shock, honestly appalled that I'd even need to ask such a ridiculous question. They want to be in Elville Gilbert. They want to stay in the public schools, and they want to graduate with our name on their diploma. And so that's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to 11.3, approved memorandum of understanding with AFSCME.
So when we moved away from contracted services to our own IT people, we put them on confidential contracts. They're no longer, because of the change in the definition of what a confidential employee is, they are no longer eligible to be confidential employees, and we were approached by the AFSCME bargaining unit as to why they aren't in their group. My concern with why they weren't in their group is I really wanted to have some control over who was in there rather than anyone being able to bump in there into that position. And this MOU addresses that. It allows us to control who is in that position while acknowledging that they don't belong as a confidential employee anymore, so they would join. This affects two people. It would be our network director and his assistant would become part of the AFSCME bargaining unit when the new contract is signed, because there would have to be classifications negotiated into the new contract for these. Any other questions you have?
Are both unions in agreement with this, Jeff, now?
Both
My
unions?
understanding, right? We're all in agreement of this?
AFSCME is in agreement with this, yes.
Pardon me?
AFSCME is in agreement with this, yes.
Oh, okay.
Because it would affect them.
The Minnesota Council 65 also, everybody's in agreement on this now? So both unions and us, we're all agreed on this now. We're all in agreement for this resolution now, right?
I guess that's accurate, wouldn't it be, Debbie? You guys are in agreement with it, yeah.
Okay. That's my only question.
Any other questions?
Well, I mean, I would rather see a administrative level go into a different group than, I think it's contradictory to have a supervisor and a subordinate in the same bargaining group. So under that basis.
Well, I don't know that he's necessarily a supervisor, though.
His title is director. It's an administrative title.
Network administrator, yeah.
And he has an assistant, so from what I've always been taught about unions and collective bargaining is, I mean, if they'd be two separate groups because you don't want a subordinate in the same group.
Well, their job descriptions probably should be rewritten and the titles rewritten. And I get what you're saying.
'Cause I mean, there are professional collective bargaining groups out there, like a MAPE or, the state has numerous ones, I know. That would be my only concern. I would like to.
Would they be able to form with one, because it would be one member?
I don't know. That would be my question to the administration.
I guess I hadn't looked at it in that term.
Okay.
So I guess if that's the direction the board, if you'd like me to look into that, that's fine, I can do that, we can come back at a different time to vote, or you can just vote on it, so that.
Well, I'll just say, I mean, I won't probably support it at this stage unless there are other options explored. I mean, we can still vote, but.
Unless you want to vote to table it, and
I would move to table it, and if there would be support.
I mean, if he votes, I mean.
Either way.
It's
Either way.
appropriate. I
Not
mean, it's
moving
done.
it.
okay, well,
Well, no, it's not, because if it's not tabling it, if you vote on it, and it gets voted down, it's done.
Done.
It's just that I would move to table it for further information or further research, but I would need a support, and if you guys want to.
Well, there's a motion and no, there is no motion.
No.
Never mind.
nothing yet.
We're just talking about it now.
Right.
Get a motion one way or another, I guess.
So I would make a motion then in order for it to ensure that it at least can continue to be looked at. I would make a motion then to table it in hope that we could get further exploration of if there would be a more appropriate bargaining unit. I still have time for my discussion. So there's my motion right now.
Okay, motion, I guess I'll second the tabling, so we can open it up for discussion.
Okay, so with that being said, we do have, I am under the same contract with my supervisor in my union. So I don't think it's necessarily unheard of. If there are other options that might be more feasible, great, but I don't think it's necessarily unheard of either. We do have it separate, but ultimately my supervisor is in the same union contract with me. And I think it matters on who's negotiating that. They're not, the supervisor isn't participating in the negotiation of that employee's contract.
Yeah, that's,
So that's where I see the difference, and that's, I think, probably why it's okay within my job is it's our county board that negotiates, just like we would be negotiating that contract with the union. So that's why I see it different. Okay, that's it.
any other discussion? No? Okay, hearing none at this time, all in favor of tabling this, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Like you said? Okay. 3. That's why motion does not pass. Motion, Sather, Peterson, and myself for yes, and Gentilini for no. Okay.
So we will be
Well,
forced to vote on it.
you can open it to another vote.
Yeah. Do you have something better in mind that you can
Well,
come up with your
I
thought?
asked the question if we are in agreement with this and the two unions are in agreement with this, and why shouldn't we go for it? I mean, what's the sense of tabling it?
My concern of why I made the recommendation is if it's clear that one of us will be voting no on it, it will not go anywhere and it is done, and that person will not be going into any union at that point then. So that was why I tabled it, is to at least allow us to have further discussion and exploration of it, rather than it just not going anywhere.
Maybe we'll have a few more board members here too.
Yeah, that's another thing. We're missing 2 board members.
Yeah,
so-
that's why we voted to table it.
Yeah.
But, yes. I'm not sure what we want to do here with this then.
Well, there's, your only option right now is if somebody made another motion.
Yeah.
Or you can,
Either that or we can take no
or you
action.
can do nothing and
Yeah.
then it comes up again, I guess.
Is there another motion, or are we going to take no action? Let's see. I guess we won't to take any action on that tonight, so we'll just move it to the next agenda, or until it gets brought up again. 12.0 administrative report.
All right, here we go. Enrollment today, 970. Last time I reported it was at 971. Couple things, direct your attention to the MSBA summary. We had a meeting. The date escapes me off the top of my head. It was about a month ago then. Then the report is back, and we were given several suggestions on how we can become more efficient. One of those that sticks out, I mean, there's many of them in there, and we're kind of behind in where we should be, according to their calendar. But one thing that we probably should do in the near future is go through our policy review of particularly the 200 series. If you look at page about 5, 6, I guess. So we should probably set a meeting for that real soon and start there, and then we'll try to play catch up on some of these other issues. The communication, email, and stuff like that, I've started that already as well. So. Any comments or questions on that? We'll, like I said, I think the first step will be we'll go through the 200 series, sit down as a group and go through that. A little bit on reorganization. We have interviewed and selected a facilitator. Have dates out soon for our collaboration. The Virginia superintendent was down in Cuba for the last week, looking at schools down there. So. He said it was very interesting. So we haven't done much in the past week, and Easter was the week before that, so it's been kind of slow on that, but we should have a date out soon. Extracurricular, we actually had our first meeting last week with coaches and parents. We had, what do you think, Ms. Williams, 30 people there?
Yeah.
Probably had 30 participants, real good turnout. Real tentative at first. I mean, people are, anytime you're talking about extracurricular activities, there was a lot of nervousness in the room, but I think we had some good icebreakers, and we have our second meeting set for May 3rd now. Facilities, we did the board walkthrough last Thursday, and I guess I felt we got somewhere that night, and just looking for, we need to carry that momentum. And I'm looking for ideas. I mean, do you want another buildings and grounds meeting in the near future? You want to talk about what you saw? We need to come up with a direction and not wait several months to figure it out. So I guess we'll do that. We do have, when we do the policy meeting, maybe next week, I'll tack that one on there so we can get that going. All right, go ahead, Ms. Williams.
Well, as you guys know, that our state speech, we had 5 participants head to state, which was at Apple Valley this past Friday and Saturday. And the 5 participants, again, were Alec Gritzmacher, Kaylee Grahek, Quinn Muich, Amanda Rigsted, and Katie Rigsted. Alec Gritzmacher made it to the final round and earned an 8th place medal. Katie Rigsted was our senior captain, and she just missed the final round, and she ended up in 12th place. And then Alec and Katie, it was their 4th trip to state. And out of those 5 participants, only 1 is a senior and the other 4 are sophomores. So we should have a strong showing for state speech for the upcoming years. And then we have our student rep, Haley, had already mentioned the senior high spring play, Almost Maine. It's this coming Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then our close-up trip, she also mentioned, they are at Washington, D.C. with Mrs. Krebs. And our senior high band and choir concert will be Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017 at 7 p.m. in the auditorium here at the high school. Can you click on that link and get the video to play? This is, and hopefully it works.
You know what, it's
Not going to work? It's a little video clip from WDIO on Iron Range Youth in Action. They went over to the Franklin Elementary and delivered Easter eggs. And so it was a short little video clip, but we might not be able to get it to work here.
we gotta come up with a different format to show it on the slideshow.
To show it on the slideshow.
It's not an active link.
Well, it's out
Good
there.
try though.
Yeah.
Glad you're-
Okay, just a couple of things to report from Gilbert. Our junior high combined band and choir concert is at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, May 9th. The 5th and 6th grade choral concert for the Nell Sheen will be at 1 p.m. on Friday, May 12th. Hopefully you can come and join us for some excellent music. Our 5th graders next week are traveling to the Laurentian Environmental Center for 3 days. They go out in the morning on the 3rd and they come back in the afternoon of the 5th. And you can see there they have some indoor classroom activities, and also at an environmental center there's outdoor classroom activities as well. So there's a couple of photos posted there. They're very excited. I had a couple of kids come running up to me today. Mr. Grip, I'm already packing for next week. So they are very excited about it.
Probably be able to do ice fishing by then too. You done?
Yeah, and that's it. Thank you.
A couple things from Franklin. So kindergarten roundup is on April 26th, which would be Wednesday. Changing up the format a little bit. Try some new things. Hopefully that works out. I'll report on that next time. On May 5th, the grade 3 and 4 spring concert is happening right here in the high school auditorium at 1 o'clock. A couple things, kids had several classes out cleaning up around town, so it's pretty cool. Doing some nice day things. And finally, just to put out a final number for the PTA bingo, $8,671.06.
That number went up by 100 today, so
You got to tell me about this before.
I didn't check until about 2 o'clock.
So anyway, thanks to the PTA. I mean, that's a big deal for us in Franklin. It helps pay for a ton of things, field trips and various classroom supplies. And then last thing, of course, Thursday we did post for the budget and finance meeting at 5, and then we will, again, the meeting that we talked about, we'll pick a day for next week to talk about policy and, what was the other one I said, Mark? Help me out. I lost it. Building and grounds, yeah. So, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
35, not bad.